Okay, so first of all, I need to apologize for all of this. I've had a really crazy week with my son being out of school and craziness of getting the summer started and finding a time when my house is actually quiet and I can sit down and record this video has been pretty impossible. I get most of my work done in the very early morning hours before my house goes a little crazy. But that means that I look like this as I'm getting my work done. So, because it happens with my workout or right after my workout. But I didn't want to put off getting this video up any longer. So, yes, this is Profe being real. This is me also as a part of my real life. Hopefully I will be a little more organized for Capitulo 4 and you won't have to see Profe in all her post-workout glory. Anyway, so we're done with the first exam. We are 1/3 of the way done with this class, which is really great. I spent some time last night grading the exams that had been completed by the time before I retired for the night. And the exams I had looked at are excellent. I am really super pleased with how well you are all doing. I know it's tough. I know this is taking a great deal of work, but you're doing so well, so fantastically. So let's just keep at it. I know it's hard that perhaps you want a bit of a breather. Unfortunately, in 6 weeks, we don't get that. But as long as you just keep pacing yourself and working every day, I know you can do it. I know that we're going to get through this together. So now we're moving on to the third chapter already, Capitulo 3. In this chapter, we are going to be looking more into student life, university life. So vocabulary will be such that you as students would use on a regular basis. Maybe not as much since you're distance learners and online learners, but still you can talk about student life, you can talk about buildings at the university, all things to do with that. We're also going to be learning more advanced numbers, how in Spanish we count from 101 and 3 million. So we'll be going through that. I have to look at my list to keep myself up with this. We will be going further with the verb tener. Tener is a very commonly used verb in Spanish. We've already used it some. Tengo bastante años. I don't give my age out normally, so I have a lot of years. I am of a certain age. And now we're going to be learning expressions that it's used with. Tengo hambre, I'm hungry. Tengo sed, I'm thirsty. So we need to be careful with those. We'll be learning a couple of other irregular verbs, the verbs ir and hacer. The other verb they have in this chapter as an irregular verb is the verb estar, and how to differentiate between the uses of ser and estar. Of course, we as a class have already been doing that since Capitulo 1. The reason I include that with Capitulo 1 materials is because to me that makes more sense to put them together rather than starting out with ser, waiting 2 chapters, and then doing estar. So this part of the chapter should be a bit of a review for you and a bit of a reinforcement of those ideas. Homework, and then in cultural panoramas, we'll be looking at Mexico. So each chapter you're going to have different Hispanic countries or areas that we're looking at. Homework is the same. You want to keep going with Duolingo. Some of you are doing fantastically well with this. Others of you are falling a bit behind where you should perhaps be. Just keep at it. That's the most important thing. Go on Duolingo every day, even if you only do a couple of exercises. All this is going to do is keep helping to reinforce the ideas. Of course, you have the e-text, go through the e-text, do all the audio activities, and then go and do your My Spanish Lab activities. Michelle Thomas you will be listening to the next disc, which should be, I believe, disc 5. So work through that, listen to it, practice with him. As I've said a number of times, Michel Thomas is a stickler for pronunciation, so it's great to work practicing aloud with him. Your film this chapter is Real Women Have Curves. It's a great film about Hispanic families in the United States, how they relate, cultural changes, those type of things. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have fun with it. Your composición, your composition forum post is on Mi Familia, my family. This is a foreshadowing of vocabulary in chapter 5, so you might need to jump forward in your e-text a little bit to look up some of the vocabulary, but I want you to kind of start pushing yourself a bit and working with things that challenge you. Again, if you don't want to tell us about your family, I have no problem with that. You know, I have students who have made things up all the time. Create some great, fantastical family. That's fun. I don't care. Tell me about your real family. That's great also. However you want to do it. Just make sure you write it in Spanish and you write it properly. And that's what matters. And then, of course, do the support videos. Listen to your song. The reason I include a song with every chapter is music is a great, fun way to start listening for words and starting to see if you understand a language. It's a great learning tool. And the same with the short videos that I post. If any questions come up, again, if they are of a general nature, please try to remember to post them in the general discussion forum. These are things that can generally benefit all students, and I'm surprised by the number of students I get asking the same questions via email that could be posted in the forum. Personal issues, personal questions, please, though, email those to me. Or you can always email Lindsay or Sarah as well. So you also then again need to attend SI, either attend the live session in Google Hangouts, and Lindsay has a couple of these a week. I know a lot of you have been doing the SI module and or SI part of the module and taking the quiz. That's also great, but the thing is you are going to get much more out of a live session with Lindsay than you will out of just doing the work in the module. Remember, you have to attend 4 conversation hours throughout the session. These are put on by Sarah. She has posted announcements on how to figure out when those are. You have to add her in Google as a Google contact. Please go to the announcements and check those out. You don't want to miss out on those points. So we need to get going with the work, right? I think we're good. Oh, one other thing you have this time around. We have a midterm survey that I have posted in Tests and Surveys. It's not graded. This is not something you receive a score on. Your answers are completely anonymous. I don't see who has filled out the surveys. All I see is a number, which has no relation to who you are as a student. It just has to give me something to click on for each individual response. So please be candid, be honest. I use these to help improve the class. And like I said, I have no idea who has said anything. I use these to look forward. So let's get going with Capitulo 3.